Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Prediction Market Analysis episode number 5 deep dive. We are going to talk a little bit more today about technical side of the prediction market analysis, but not to worry too much. I've been taking you step by step into all these processes and taking you from the ABCDs to writing your own novel about the prediction market. So that was just a literary allegory for all of this. But what I wanted to convey with this is that we are in number 5. From here on out, we're only taking our diagrams and all our flow and then converting that into real world code. And what
Data.
we are going to do is use different kinds of websites, graphs, GIS, simulators, earth engines, and kind of see where we can get the climate related data. In a similar manner, you can utilize similar technologies for figuring out different kind of data streams for your own sector. For example, if you wanted to do drug discovery and prediction market based on that, if you wanted to do development sector work, if you wanted to do entertainment related work, you can do all of that, right? But then what we are also going to do is utilize a time series analysis tool, which is a machine learning model. And what we are going to do is you and I are going to do from zero. We're going to start from scratch and we are going to solve it using that. So just to give you a little bit of recap, what we have learned and what we have established into our platform is that there is a disclaimer.
Shut up, old man.
This is not financial advice. Analysis only for educational purposes. Only as of October this year, I have not traded on any prediction market and I have not done any kind of prediction market
Seriously?
analysis that can be actually traded by me. So if you want to do that, do it on your own, right? If you don't want to do that, well, it's all up for you. We have set up the laws of prediction markets. Law of prediction market number 1: if a market impacts another market, the vice versa is also true. So that basically means if there is a market for will 2025 be the hottest year on record, if this impacts the other market, will a hurricane make a landfall in the US by October 31? Yes, these are interrelated. That means there is a idea that there is a third market, highest temperature in LA on October 27th. This all three markets will be connected with each other, right? Law of prediction market number 2: number of markets impacted by one market can be n number market. Yes, so if there is a market related to this, there could be n number markets related to this, because there is no end to how many endpoints we can actually connect with each other. Everything is connected, right? It's all connected.
The fact is, nothing is separate. Everything is connected.
Oh, we have to go back. Law of prediction market number 3: severity impact on the market by said market is unknown. So we really don't know how much
Things we don't know that we don't know.
this impacts this market, because in the macro level we can get to an analysis, but we can say, for instance, right? Law number 4: uncertainty in the market, which is the severity and impact by other market, can always be modeled but never be accurately predicted until it's resolved. That basically means you can only tell if something is 100% yes or 100% no until and unless it is resolved and it's predicted. And once it's resolved, you can't really put your money into it, and that just means it's a historical event. So basically, this just gives an indication, right? Law of
Guys, take a look at this.
prediction market number 5: always take the historical precedence of the prediction market into account as an indicator, but never the other. So what we're going to focus on today is these two, and specifically on law of prediction market number 5. We take the historical precedence, and we take that idea and then we utilize a time GPT to actually make some graphs and do a little bit of analysis. Okay, is that okay? All right, let me take a little bit of sip of this coffee.
I love terrible coffee.
All right, so first of all, what I'm gonna show you today is we're just gonna take the example that we are going to take a carbon credit price simulation, right? What we're going to do is do this for number of reasons. First reason, what we want to do is figure out what are the packs that from these markets that are connected that is going to affect my carbon credit price. N number of factors, we already established that from rule number 2. There is n number of factors that are going to affect everything else. Now what we're going to do is figure out policy awareness of the public, price volume trading, frequency of the carbon credits, and pricing mechanisms, and ROI with the buyers and sellers. We're going to figure out these out. But one more important thing I need to understand is if this is actually a volume, there is a volume going to this, right? So to understand if there is going to be a market for this, what I'm going to do is utilize this tool called earth.nullschool.net. So what I'm going to do is start from refresh. If you go to earth.nullschool.net, I'm going to put this link over here so that you can follow along if you want to and see if this could be useful, right? What I'm going to do is
That's simple. That's simple.
I think a circle would be appropriate for this. Oh yeah. So here you are. Here you go. So this is earth.nullschool.net, and if you're lazy, you would want that in the description. I'm not going to put this in the description. Everything's over here. You just follow along.
What an opportunity for me then.
And what this will provide us is a simulation for Earth, right? So as you can see in this little simulation over here, they got a Earth globe, and we can rotate this. We can rotate this different ways that we want, and we can put this anywhere that we want. You can actually go to the dashboard.carbonupdates.com and utilize the same feature over there. But what I wanted to do was give you the primary resource and duplicate, and I'm gonna put you, these are the two resources you can use. So what we do is make this bigger. Okay, all right. So we have earth.nullschool.net and we have carbon updates dashboard. What we have is over here in this carbon updates dashboard, what we are going to do is we're going to showcase everything over here, but I just wanted to take you to the source and see what's happening. So
Welcome to my world, son.
we can just see a bunch of outlines over here and nothing special, right? There is nothing special going on until you press these three buttons. Now what we can see is a sort of a grid, and I've selected air. I can select ocean, and I can select different kinds of currents flowing in the ocean. I can check chemical particles, so check me CO2, CO, carbon monoxide concentration, CO2 concentration, sulfur dioxide concentration, and nitrous oxide concentration. So let's just take from NO2 concentration, right? So if you really look at the hotspots over here, where the NO2 concentrations are going, specifically, the hotspots are somewhere around here, right? The Antarctic and the Arctic are basically empty, reasonably empty. There's not a lot of that in Australia. There's a little bit of that in the middle of Australia. I don't know what is going on over here. So
Australia?
what we can do is take this heading, and we can put this in a database and do a Google search, right? Let's basically figure out what are the hotspots, and I can figure out who's going to buy carbon credits from here. That's basically it. All right, if there is a organization that emits a lot of these hotspots over here, they're obviously generating a lot of carbon credits over here. So you can use different kind of projections as well. You can use Atlantis. You can use this kind of projection. I really like Atlantis because it gives you like a global perspective, and you can sort of see almost everything in front of you. And then you can use Oceanic. That's what we utilized. We can use P, which is just like, this is also like a really cartographer's dream. where we
Makes sense.
can see everything here in like one single graph. And then we can use the S format, singular, Westman butterfly. I don't think I need Westman butterfly. Yeah, either the oceanic or P, one or the other. Okay, so this gives me a perspective on where I can find buyers for my carbon credits, right? So what we do is what I do is go over here, and I should choose I really like this one. Okay, so I should choose this, right? And what I need to do is figure out closest I can get to this, right? There's a lot of hotspots over here, so why there's a hotspots over here. Then I take these, right? I put these down as artschool.net. Now, this is the location where most of the generation of what do you call it? Wind, right? So we are looking at currents instead of wind. We are looking at currents. Also looking at particulates, right? So let's see particulate matter. So I want to see it from different lenses and particularly isolate it to that point. So
You got to isolate, then isolate.
what was my 4684? It's 4517. So fair enough. This gives me sort of an idea. I'll get more indicators. I have more tools in carbon updates to figure out what to do. So instead of all of this, so that's a really good hotspot, right? So this is where I figure out. This is where I need to. This is the particular area that I need to figure out. Let's see if there is PM10. So not a lot of OMAC, right?
Analysis.
And then figure out this one. Okay, so it's shifted a little bit, so it's in that vicinity, right? So basically in Europe there is a lot of this going on. So space on that biology mode. All right, let's see. Okay. What's going on over here?
Most important.
Oh, interesting. All right, guys. So basically, this is about it. So overlay, we want the PA overlay. Okay, okay. This is actually good. This helps me a lot. You know what this is?
Commodity fetishism?
So the area bleaches over here. So all the particulates matter and everything else, bleaching goes. Have you watched that video where all the Saharan soil goes all the way to the Amazon, and then that's how the Amazon is so much more fertile? That was a video that I saw, and I was like, really, wow, it's interesting. So yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna also see fires going on. See none. Okay.
This is boring.
There is fires, right? So wildfires going on everywhere now, especially in Africa, like right beyond the wall of Sahara, right? Okay, there's a lot going on over here. There's hotspots over here. Australia is having a lot of wildfires this year. So basically,
Australia?
yeah, so we take these, right? And then what we do is next up, what we're going to do is go to, we take this database, right? We have this one coordinate. What we got to do is figure out how we can take the time series data of that coordinate and figure out if there has been sort of the same behavior in that particular coordinate happening all over time. Now, if you're like a person who's just starting off and who doesn't know how to use AI or different kinds of charts or different kinds of coding mechanisms, will teach you how to do that. So this is the GitHub repo for Nextcloud, right? This is basically a time
Coding.
GPT. So it's an open source model. It's a TimeGPT is a production ready generative pre-trained transformer for time series capable of accurately predicting various domains such as retail, electricity, finance, and IoT with just few lines of code. So we can utilize this particular area in figuring out the, since it is already pre-trained in retail, electricity, finance, and IoT. So we're looking at from the electricity perspective. If something uses more electricity in that particular area, that means there's an industry that requires carbon credits. That's from my domain knowledge, right? So based on this, I can utilize this for my carbon credit analysis. Maybe it's for retail or maybe just for finance. You can do it, and I think it's useful for you. So what I'm going to do now is take this quick start guide and do that. And before I do all of that, let me just give this to you over here so that duplicate, and I move this over here, give you the exact
I believe you believe you.
thing. Okay, let me start. So what I need to do would be to where is the how to site, where's the API key, we need to get the API reference, I need to log in and do that. Where's the
Thanks, Linus. Let's get back on the.
okay, so get up and okay, covered updates, carbon footprint specialist, uh, climate analysis and videos. That's what I need it for. And save answers.
That's a general idea.
All right, I need to use a institutional email. So continue with email. Do I need this? Do I absolutely need this? Do I need this, or can I teach people with something else? All right, guys.
Do you even know what we do here? What's to know?
All right. I'll be back and we'll do this again. Be back in now.
That's simple. That's simple.
All right, we are back and we are set up with the Nextcloud framework. So all you got to do is you go to you put your organizational detail. It takes in 30 seconds to give you back the details, and based on that details, you can pretty much come to this dashboard. Now, this is my dashboard with Nextcloud the time series. Also, all I needed this was for this API key, and that's it. So what I got to do next is go to the time series thing and take their instructions and follow them to the T. All right.
Instructions.
So here's the instructions. So quick guide would be to do pip install Nextcloud. So all you got to do is if you don't know how to do this, go to collab.google.com, right? That's what you do. It's free. If you have a Google account, you can pretty much code for free. So it takes you to this. It might take you to a different screen, and all you got to do is go over here, start a new workbook, or do something else. But yeah, basically that's what you do. So I'm gonna put that over here as I duplicate this so that you can easily see why I'm teaching you this way, and I'm giving you perspective on collab.research.google.com. So that's it. So basically, if you've already read about it, there is a lot of tools out there that are gonna teach you, but we're gonna go back and do copy this code and paste it here. So to give you an insight, pip is the command from the Python, what's one of the repositories from Python packages that will help you install different kind of other packages, right? So pip is a very useful tool. So what you do is we run the code. That's it. One line of code, one block at a time. So pip is installed. Let's see. It's connecting to my instance, and you can basically run it for free over here, and then you can show up your terminal. I use VS Code for most of my coding, but
Coding.
I'm utilizing this online platform just to show you guys how we can all do this, like even if we are not real coders, right? So even if we have really no experience doing any kind of coding, this can be done. So now we finished. I think the installation is done. I don't think
Analysis.
the terminal is showing me any kind of issues. Let's see the show executed code history, no issues, right? So we had a code block. So now that we finished the installation of Nixla, next we import pandas as PD from Nixla import and Nixla as client. So we copy this code and we add this, and then we run this and see executing 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second, 7 seconds. Okay, so it's executed. So this means
Welcome to my world, son.
executed. If there's any kind of error, it's going to show us. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this we're going to copy this, and there's a little bit of changes that we got to do over here. Okay, so this is where we put our API key, and
You know what the API is, Mr. Carter?
instead of just doing that, I put my, trust me guys, I'm going to delete this API key once this is live. Never expose your API keys like this, right? So I'm going to delete this as soon as this exercise is over. So it's reading this. Let me just follow this link. For now, we're just going to follow this link and figure out, okay, this is a real CSV file. Okay, let's run. So let's just see how what this code does. So basically, it takes your API key, which is basically a historical demand data, forecast next 20 hours, and plot the results. So what we want to see is this, and let's see if this generates us this, right? Okay, it generated us a graph. Let's see what the graph is. 26.
Why am I even surprised?
16, 11, and it's going to generate us a graph, right? Did we get the same graph? So next up, what we're going to do is figure out a anomaly detection, right? And rest of it is just our imagination. So what we're going to do now next is, yeah, Nixla is not paying me any kind of money to do all of this. I'm doing this on my own. So if you're watching out, Nixla, so I already have my API key right here, right? So do I need this? Okay, so let me just make it into a comment. Right, since if I have my API key over here, this should work. All right, there's no API key. Okay, so
They're bluffing.
all right, so basically I need to figure this out, and give me a second and I'm coming back. All right, we are back. What we have been able to do was take the code, and then we played around with it, and then I was able to find the error. So over here, so the target volume and the value, this needs to be changed into a Y. That's about it. This and this, because there is no in the database itself, this value is not a parameter that we're calling, and so you just convert this into y. In my code, if you really look at it, there is a y and it works. So if I keep it as value, so instead of doing that, I've just I keep it as y. So let me compare the code for you. I've changed nothing else, so I'll just compare this code for you. And let's get back to the untitled. Let me add up a code block, right? And then put this over here. So let's compare the code. Anomaly is df, so everything else above that is the same. And then we check Nixla client detect anomalies df time column. So we converted that into ds. So this is ds and this is y. That's what we changed, right? So the anomaly, we are calling it as database. So in the database, it's instead of timestamp and value, it's ds and y. So that's it. Everything else is the same. So
Finally.
so I just changed these two values. I've completely changed them and then kind of figured out. I asked the coding agent and then it kind of gave me the idea. So basically we want to get this graph, and that's what I think this is the same graph that they're getting. So this basically tells you that you need to understand what's in your database and the different kinds of columns that are available in your database, and based on that, this will be able to give you like an anomaly detection. So what
My motto is simple: efficiency, efficiency, efficiency.
does anomaly detection mean? It basically means different kinds of anomalies that are available and seen over here, and then you can figure out where those anomalies are, and those hotspots over here, those are your anomalies. So you can pretty much do trading based on energy, or you can figure out like climate data based on this. So what we're going to do next in the next episode is we're going to go to this location and find the data related to electricity based on that. And then what we are going to do is take a law number 5 and then always take historical precedent. So what we're going to do is plot a graph like this for a historical precedence of where the electricity peak or available over there, and we're going to pinpoint on that. And then what we're going to do is take that pinpoint location and then we're going to do anomaly detection. That what this will be able to do is provide me
Makes sense.
the analysis and the background to figure out where I can find buyers for the carbon credits, because I already have sellers.
It's about money.
I have buyers too, but I'm walking you through all of this. So that's it for today's episode. It wasn't as exciting or filled with the new kind of information for a lot many other people. You might have done a lot of this on your own, but these are the different kinds of ways that we are actually doing a lot of work over here. I don't utilize these tools, but I'm giving you these tools because these are almost free out there. So thank you so much for watching my episode. Now bye bye. We'll see you in episode number 6.
Oh, so sweet.
Bye bye. Let me delete this. All right, there's no API key. Close this. All right, done. You still here?
Are you still here? Coding.